children is long lasting.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's no end to it. Or there shouldn't be. You're absolutely right. I agree. Is a husband responsible for his wife's debt?
Debt?
Debt. Yes, sir.
No.
Why not?
She's responsible for her own sins.
Well, I'm speaking financially.
It's a sin. If the daddy don't pay it, it's a sin.
Times have changed.
And how so? Would you share with us what you mean by that about times have changed?
It's just the whole government, everything has changed. Women have all these different rights that are separate. Back in the day, I would think the man was responsible for the woman, maybe in the 50s.
Okay. Rob?
I think I'll clarify it. Is this debt pre or post marriage? Pre-marriage. I would not assume something that someone did before we became one. Like
Okay.
when Michelle and I got married, we immediately joined bank accounts. We became one completely. So
Okay.
all of our funds were as one. But everything before that, whatever she would have done, whatever debt she accrued, my name was not on that.
Right.
That was on her to figure that out.
Now, and I don't want to make it personal, but I guess theoretically, those debts she's responsible for, but now your monies are merged. Will the merged money go to pay off your prior debts and her prior debts, or does she have to pay off those debts by the sweat of her brow, theoretically?
We were lucky. I don't know how that would have worked out.
Yeah.
It worked out really well, that scenario.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The IRS looks at it this way. You owe money to the IRS and you get married, now your spouse owes to the IRS also.
Okay.
So the government looks at it that way. I look at it this way. You're married the woman, you're one, everything is one.
Okay.
Everything is together. I don't know, that to me would be a ridiculous argument to have. Is it her bills and has she got to go out to work to pay for it? No, that's not the way, sorry, that's not how Jesus would have done it. That's not the way we're supposed to love our wives as Jesus loves our wives.
So covenantally, no.
I mean, once you say I do, that's it. And the same with her. She has my debts too.
Okay.
It's a one debt stop as far as I'm concerned.
Yes, sir. Brother Ozzy.
Yeah, once you become married, you take on all responsibility.
Okay.
Because you gotta pay off whatever she owes and whatever you owe.
Uh-huh.
So, my deal is, you gotta understand what you're getting into before you marry this person.
Mm-hmm.
You accept that person and you know what she got before you marry her, then when you marry her, you need to take on that responsibility.
Yes, sir. Sister Jeanette.
God does say that the man is supposed to take care of his family. That's why it says in the Bible.
I won't argue that. I won't argue that at all. I agree, just so we're clear. I agree. Okay.
That's not today's standard.
That is not today's. I have a very good friend, co-worker.
I've never seen that. So it's today, because I've got 5 adult children that don't deal with that. So to me, that's a surprising statement.
My wife and I are kind of an anomaly amongst several of our friends. They go halvesies, and they'll meet with the children that are mutually theirs genetically. They're their children, but they will get into, well, you make more, so you ought to pay a larger proportion of. I don't know how that works, but they get into the minutia of it.
That's exactly how most of our friends are too, Jamar.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it's very odd.
Yeah. Big calculus problem. So,
Because the government, if they separate, the government takes it, splits it in half.
yeah.
That's no surprise.
Very true. We kick against this because individualism has seeped deep into our bones, and it doesn't seem fair that a man can be held responsible for the guilt that someone else has incurred. The reason it doesn't seem fair is because it isn't. It is covenant unity. Is it fair that when I stump my toe, my whole body responds? No, but that's how the corporate body works. The brain, or head, if you will, senses what has happened, and the entire body goes into defense mode. The same thing happens when you ingest a germ. Not only will your throat hurt, but your entire body puts up a defense. This is because authority flows upward. Authority flows upward, and authority flees those who seek to escape or avoid responsibility. How did Moses show his willingness to be responsible for the Israelites? Let's look at Exodus chapter 32, verses 30 through 32. And the question is how did Moses show his willingness to be responsible for the Israelites? In this particular passage, he's discovered that the Israelites made a golden calf. And he knows it's wrong.
You said Exodus what?
Chapter 32, beginning in verse 30 through 32.
You want to read that?
Yes, please.
The next day Moses said to the people, "You have committed a great sin, but now I will go up to the Lord. Perhaps I can make atonement for your sin."
Perhaps I can make atonement for your sin. He's taking responsibility. Verse 31, please.
Then Moses returned